3. Okay, let's multiply this out. Okay, x times x is x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. When I combine my little terms, I end up with x squared plus 12. So, tell me this. 12 is 4 and 3 what? Multiplied, added, divided. How do I get to 12 from 4 and 3? Multiply. Right? It's 4 times 3. So my last two terms multiplied. What about 7? It's my last two terms added together. Okay? So, if I am going to reverse this like we did yesterday and factor it, okay, we need to find two numbers, okay, that multiply to 12 and add up to 7. Okay? So we're going to multiply to the last number, add up to the middle number. Okay? So, my factors of 12 are what? 4 and 3, what else? 6 and 2, and 12 and 1. Okay? Which group right there, because those all multiply to 12, right? Which group multiplies to be 7? Or adds to 7, sorry. The 4 and the 3. Okay, so that tells us we're going to use 4 and 3. So we need two sets of parentheses. Okay, how do I get to x squared? What times what gives me x squared? X and x. So it's going to be x and x. Okay, is this 4 and 3, are they both positives? Yeah. So it's going to be plus 4 and plus 3. Yes? No, and I was just going to say that. If you wrote this as x plus 3 times x plus 4, same thing. Okay? You just have to, Sam, make sure that when we get to some later on ones, when we're dealing with signs, okay, that your signs go with the correct numbers. Okay? Alright, so number 2, my factors of 20 are 4 and 5, 2 and 10, 20 and 1. Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Okay? So which one of those groupings add up to 9? 4 and 5. So my factors are going to be n plus 4 and n plus 5. Okay, and if you flip-flop those, then n plus 5 and n plus 4, that's okay. Okay, what are my options for 18? 6 and 3, what else? 9 and 2, so 6 and 3, 9 and 2, 18 and 1. Okay, do any of those add up to 9? 6 and 3. So we know we're going to use 6 and 3. So h plus 6 and h plus 3. Good. Okay, I want everybody to do number 4. Alright, so you used 6 and 4. Did anybody use anything different? No, because 6 and 4 add up to what? 10, and that's what we want. So if I'm using 6 and 4, what are my two factors? A plus 6 and a plus 4. Very good. Okay, easy peasy so far, right? Alright, let's talk about some sign stuff. Let's look at number 7. Okay. What do I have to multiply together to get to a negative? My numbers have to be a what and a what? It has to be a positive and a negative. Okay? So I'm going to have a positive and a negative, and together they're going to add up to a positive 3. So how can I get to 18? I can get to 6 and 3. Okay? Now, we know one's got to be positive and one's got to be negative, right? Which one do I make positive and which one do I make negative to get to a positive 3? Yeah, a positive 6 and a negative 3. The 6 plus a negative 3 gives me a positive 3, right? So therefore, my factors are going to be n plus 6, that's positive, and n minus 3, because the 3 is negative. Okay? So if I'm looking at number 8, okay, how do I get to negative 8? Negative 2 and positive 4? Does negative 2 plus a positive 4 get me to a positive 2? All right. So I have x minus 2 and x plus 4. Now, would I mark this wrong if you wrote it as x plus 4 and x minus 2? No, because it's a positive 4, I still have a positive 4, and it's a negative 2, I still have a negative 2. So just because they're on different sides of each other, not a big deal. Would it be wrong if you wrote it as x minus 4 and x plus 2?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, because now if I take negative 4 and a positive 2, what do I get? I end up with a negative 2. Okay, so this one can't work because I get a different middle term. Alright, so everybody is going to do number 9. Question?
In order to get to the original answer,
Yep, you can just multiply it out. You have plus 4x, and then minus 2x. Yep, and then minus 8. Yep. So you would multiply it, Sam, just like we did on this page right here. Okay? Caitlin, what do you use? Okay, time out. It's got to multiply to negative 10. So what are our options for 10? What can I multiply together to get to negative 10? 5 and 2. Okay, are those 3 apart? Yep. Which one do I make negative if I want a positive 3? Yeah. Okay. And here's your clue. If this is a positive right here, okay, your bigger number is going to be your positive. If this is a negative, your bigger number is going to be negative. Okay, so G, what? Minus 2, okay. And G plus 5, yep. I'm assuming some of you wrote that as G plus 5 and G minus 2. Totally okay. Okay, no big shake at all. Okay, everybody look at number 15. Okay, so I still have a negative at the end, right? So I'm still going to have 1 and 1. What are my signs going to be? Still going to be a plus and a minus to get to a negative 63. Okay, what are my factors of 63? 9 and 7. Okay, now to get to a negative 2, which one has to negative? The negative 9. Because negative 9 plus 7 gives me a negative 2, yep. So is the, those are the two that I'm going to use. What are my factors? Good. B to the minus 1, B plus 7. Alright, so I want everybody to try number 17 right now. Okay? You might have to take your calculator out right now and try to figure out what goes into 64. Because I'm assuming there's going to be a pretty good list of numbers that go into 64. And once you get to it, you can stop. Once you get the two numbers that are going to equal a 12, you can stop. So how many of you started with dividing 64 divided by 2? That's what I started with, yeah. And then did you try 3? Well, yeah, I tried 3 and I went, oh, that's not going to work. Okay? And so then we went 4, right? And we got 4 and what? 16. Right there is the difference of 4 and 16, 12. So do I have to go any further? No, I can stop right there. Okay? Now to get to a negative 12, which one has to be negative? It's got to be negative 16, yep. So I know I'm going to use these. So if I use those two, my factors are going to be okay, k minus 16 and k plus 4, yep. Okay, not so bad, right? So far, so good? All right. We need to jump to number 21. How on earth am I going to get to a positive 24? So two numbers that multiply to be a positive 24, but add up to be a negative 11. Thank you. I'm going to have two numbers that are negative. Because the negative times the negative gives me a positive. So what times what gets me to 11? What is it? Yep. Well, we multiply to 24. But what two numbers are going to multiply to 24? But add up to 11. 6 and 4 is going to give me 10. 8 and 3. Okay? So we know 8 and 3. But to get to a negative 11, what are they going to be? They're both going to be negative 8 and negative 3. So I'm going to have x minus 8 and x minus 3. Okay, everybody do number 24. is going to be divisible by what? 5 and 10. Yeah, 10 will work too. And 2 will work because it's even. Okay? So we know I'm seeing number 50, I can automatically go 2 and 25 because I know that's going to work. Right? I also know it's going to be divisible by 10. So that's going to be 10 and 5. Ooh, if I make those both negative, what do I get? Negative 15. Is that what I'm looking for? Yes. Yeah. So M minus 10 and M minus 5. Yep, either order. Okay? Either order works. So only one other thing I want to talk about. Not really talked about that part yet. Alright, well. C squared minus C minus 42. Okay. My two numbers are multiplying together to be what? No, multiplying together to be negative 42. Okay. They're adding together to be negative 1. Okay, negative 1, yep. Because if I just have a C here, how many C's is it? It's 1. Okay, so I need them to add up to 1. So what are my factors of 42? 7 and 6. Okay, are those 1 apart? Yep. And since I want negative 1, which one has to be negative? The negative 7. So I have C minus 7 and